Weird. Good morning, everybody. I'm back after taking a weekend off. We're here playing some Grixis Shredder Reanimator. This is an evolution of a deck that we were playing some during the trophy race, which is a Grixis Reanimator deck with lots of cheap, low-to-the-ground creatures that can apply early pressure to your opponents, while also having access to Persist, Archon of Cruelty. And what's really cool about this archetype is, like, post-board, people have a much harder time mulliganing to, like, Rest in Peace and other Graveyard Hate against you, because you're just going to beat them down. And now, with Ledger Shredder, you've got a really big upgrade to this deck idea, where Shredder is also very good at looting cards into the bin, but also incredibly good at beating Graveyard Hate. So it just kind of fits really well here. It's my opinion that if you want to play Shredder, you should play Bauble, and so at that point, I think it makes a lot of sense to play Dragon Rage's Channeler. And so we're playing Channeler over the Insolent Neonates that we were playing instead. But I've tested Channeler in this archetype in the past, and I found that the card plays kind of awkwardly with Unmarked Grave, because you just, like, you get no value out of the Surveil, and if you're just playing Bauble, Thoughtseize, Grave, the Planeswalkers, you're like kind of light on ways to trigger the Surveil. So we're playing Indulgence over Unmarked Grave with that kind of theory that we're going to be able to theoretically dig for our Persists. Not sure that it's actually going to work as well as I hope. I usually like to play Unmarked Grave, but we'll see how it goes. Also get to play with the new card, right? We're also playing one copy of the Royal Scions as an extra 3-mana Planeswalker. Kaito, I think, is the best one, being a great source of card advantage. Scions is kind of like it, has a lot more loyalty though, and is also like kind of good at just like plan B, pressuring your opponent. Also is a looter. I'm excited for the list though. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Arbitrary with the 7 months, appreciate you. It's definitely a weird archetype, but it was one that I like, kind of believed in the trophy race season. We did get a trophy with it, I believe. I think this seems like a really nice evolution of the deck idea of the archetype. This is a meme, isn't it? I just did a whole deck tech of why I don't think it's a meme. You can watch and find out for yourself. At the very least, it is innovative, huh? At the very least, we're trying something new. Toaster Maptic with 3 months, appreciate you. I don't think that I broke it or anything, but I do think that there are some interesting ideas that you play here that I want to try out. Been playing the Dimir Shadowless. Yeah, I think a lot of people have. When wondering what matchups the Kaitos are set for, just blue-white control, which is one of your harder matchups. I don't really think there's too many other spots where you want it, but while I don't always recommend just putting a sideboard card in your deck for the control matchup, in a deck like Blue-Black Shadow, I do recommend it. Bro, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Do you think there'll be times you want Indulgence to discard and won't be able to? Not really. This deck is, one, full of looters. This deck is just full of ways to loot. And two, you're not actually going to be turning on that often, the looting part. Looks like we're playing its Living End here in round 1. Living End is actually usually a really good matchup for Reanimator, because you have the ability to get a lot of cards into the graveyard. Pretty sure I'm supposed to Tainted Indulgence in their upkeep. Can I explain why I decided not to play the good Grixis Charm? That card is 3 mana. If I want to play a 3-mana card, I think the Kaitos and the Royal Scions are much stronger. I think the Grixis Charm in general is pretty underpowered in this format. Notably, if this were Unmarked Grave here, we would probably be like locked into a win, but looks like we hit the Archon anyways. Looks like we just hit Archon anyways. Awesome. Swazo with the 10 months, thank you. Joey with the 14, appreciate you as well. Welcome back, guys. Do you feel like you want 1-2 removal spells in the main? My removal spells are actually Archon of Cruelty, baby. I don't think that you do want to main deck random removal spells. Okay, command for the same reason. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's probably not too hard to infer that if there's a 3-mana spell I'm not playing in a deck with 5 3-drops, that I think that these other 3-drops are worse options than what I am choosing to play. Kolaghan's Command doesn't have like a lot of synergy with the Reanimator plan. People also like listen. I love Kolaghan's Command. I love playing with that card. People overrate it like so consistently. I guess I'll keep that on top so I can trigger Connive next turn. like, I love it. The card is definitely overrated. People like really act like this is a card that, you know, you need to be playing in a lot of these kind of decks, and I just don't necessarily agree. Razor with the 7 months, appreciate you. Welcome back. Haven't made any updates to Mono Black. Not since I played the Reanimator variant. But I did like the Reanimator variant of that a lot. I really liked the Reanimator plan of Reanimator game 1, and then sideboard used like side into more of a like mid-range archetype. I think I'll keep the Hacker. I want to keep the Kaito too. I'll keep the Kaito. Just unflood a little bit. And then the Hacker is, you know, kind of nice to trigger Connive. Even if you're low on resources, you get to pick up a creature, replay a creature, trigger the Connives. My opponent just packs it in. Usually Reanimator's best matchup is Living In, so kind of a nice way to start the day. I'm going to bring in my Serra's Emissary. So I'm still playing these other targets despite not playing Unmarked Grave. I'm not sure if this is correct, but it seemed okay when I was thinking about it this morning. So they want to cut the Planeswalkers in this matchup. I also want the Voidwalkers. I think Hacker's really good here. I want to make sure. I don't think I could maybe play Terastodon too, just because any like big thing to discard is pretty good, but this is the worst. Instant speed discard's nice. Kind of seems weird. I almost want to take out like the 4th Persist. Probably can't ever do that. I think I'll trim the Channelers. I think they're the worst threat. Yeah, the retro baubles are out. I had to get them. Well, this hand is amazing against Living In. Cut Thoughtseize. I think Thoughtseize is pretty important to be able to take Endurance. I don't think you could ever cut Thoughtseize here. 5-0 Dimmer Food last night. Yeah, that deck's awesome. How did I master the clicking? I simply spend all day clicking. All day, every day for years. It's easy. The more I play Unmarked Grave, the more I've disliked it. I've actually been a big fan of Unmarked Grave. I'm like kind of like the biggest Unmarked Grave defender. But the reason I'm not playing it here is that it plays pretty badly with Dragon Rage's Channeler, and I think without Unmarked Grave, we're actually like too light on. I think we're too light on ways to get value off the Surveil, and I think if you're playing Shredder, I really think you want to play Bauble, and so I think I'm going to cast the Voidwalker here, and it's a bit weird because I kind of am soft to like Cascade plus Endurance this turn if I cast the Voidwalker right now. But I like getting more pressure into play. I like stopping further cards from going to the graveyard. And, you know, it is kind of asking, I think, a lot of them to have... I think I'll top. It's kind of close. It is kind of asking a lot for them to have Endurance plus Cascader plus Untapped Land plus, you know, green card as 4 of their 5 cards. Why no Unmarked Grave? Yeah, we were just talking about this, Quater, but the reason for no Unmarked Grave is you're like actually... I don't think you have a density of cards that work well with Dragon Rage's Channeler if you play Unmarked Grave over Indulgence. That's my concern, at least. So next turn, I think I'm just playing a second Neonate and holding up Spell Pierce, and then my second Neonate can discard Voidwalker, and so if they Sorcery Speed, Cascade, whoops, meant to attack. I will discard Archon, obviously, but then I'll probably also discard the Voidwalker, since there are so many creatures over here, I might actually end up losing the fight. Although, I mean, I'll Spell Pierce first. Spell Pierce over Flusterstorm in this list, since, 1, Cascade's already a good matchup, so I don't think you need to hedge against it more necessarily, and Spell Pierce can counter Chalice and Rest in Peace out of blue-white control. How do you vote Dimir for going forward? Best Asmo Shell? I personally was always a really big fan of the mono-red grid deck. I feel like this deck never picked up, but it was a brew I was really proud of that I thought was pretty competitive. So this one maybe is the better Asmo deck, but I think the blue-black food is a good deck as well. I would recommend it to anybody who likes the idea there. So I kind of think they might Violent Outburst in response, but if they have Violent Outburst, green card Endurance, we can still theoretically get them. So we'll let them put the Living End on the stack. Then I'm going to discard the Archon of Cruelty. And now I guess the big question is, do I think my Archon of Cruelty can win by itself? Because if so, I'm not going to do anything else. Yeah, or at least I was like, I wanted to like give them a window to Endurance. But this is fine. So now we just need to dodge another Endurance, another green card, and I guess the question is now, do I want to discard Emissary or do I want to discard Voidwalker? I think I'll discard Voidwalker so I don't lose to the stupid turtle. If they're at 1 less life. Oh no, I could discard the Emissary. I bring back this. No, I'm attacking them for 8. Yeah. I just named creature. Attack them for exactly 8. Oh no, the Waker of Waves. Waker of Waves. Okay, I mean, I'm doing okay if they don't have a turtle or a Otawara, but I think I probably should discard Voidwalker, because Voidwalker lets me replay Living End. Voidwalker lets me replay Living End, which is why I wanted to use that one there. Maybe I can somehow Archon of Cruelty this turn. Turtle's a creature? Wait, okay. I guess, yeah, okay, yeah, I've never had this interaction come up, but I guess it does work like that, huh? Yeah, I didn't realize it was like it being a creature in the hand is kind of weird, but yeah, it should be protection from it. And so they already have an Otawara in the yard, so I guess we're actually just doing alright, huh? Oh, they have 2 Otawaras? Okay, good to know. Yeah. I believe it does work this way. It's just kind of like, I've never had this interaction come up, so I was just... It's a bit weird, right? Because it's a creature in the hand. Probably have to keep this. Gab is probably playing the Tashimi combo deck, so maybe this is like a little slow, but this hand could be anything. I'm just gonna keep. This is pretty cool. I feel like I'd like to see you go -2 Faithful Mending plus 2 Treasure Cruise. Mana seems kind of tough. I don't like playing 4 Courtyard, 4 Godless Shrine necessarily in this deck with like 8 1-mana cantrips. You're only playing 20 lands. I feel like I'd like to see you probably cut the like 2 Concealed Courtyards, 1 Godless Shrine. I'm not sure exactly how you fit room for the best for the rest, but or like what other lands you play. Maybe go up to the 4th Clear Water pathway. Play maybe 1 Otawara. Maybe the 2nd blue-white pathway, but I feel like you just need more blue lands. Could be wrong. I also maybe go down to 3 Can't Stay Away. I'm not sure. I'd have to play a bit more with the card. Just with only 12 hits, it seems like kind of like a lot to play the full 4. Not sure what I recommend playing over. Maybe like 1 main deck Narset or something. But cool list, really cool list. I like the idea. Do you first could just stop them from using turtle bots? Yeah, very cool interaction. Does have a Tamashi on top. And then has a Bauble. Wait, Gab is playing Bauble too? Okay. Oh no, dude! I do this with this deck all the time. I mean to play my Moon Circuit Hacker, and I just forget to play my land first. I don't. It's very embarrassing. Okay. No saving Bauble for Shred. I think, as general rule of thumb, if you already have the Shredder in your hand, I like to play the Bauble. But if I'm like reliant on drawing the Shredder, then I usually just sack it immediately. Bauble can be war gated for 0, recurred by Tamashii, but is that how good is that? You know, it's cool. It's an interesting idea. For engineer, right. I guess I'm just kind of like wondering how often you want to engineer for Bauble over Bloom. Is it going to be worth it? I guess the cost of playing it's not very high either. Okay. I guess I'm going to just discard Archon now because I might like to hit a land drop and double spell next turn. Florin, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Glad you like the stream. Okay, so found an Eldritch Army's Call. Found a Tamashii. Although my opponent's hand, I believe, is going to be the Tamashii Land Mystery card, right? Oh no, yeah, two Order Wars are the mystery cards, which are actually pretty good against my Archons, but if Gab does go for Tamashii here, he's going to need to top deck a Cultivator Colossus or tutor for Cultivator Colossus in the top 2 draws, or I'm going to be able to persist, kill Tamashii. I think there's an Eldritch Army's Call in the stack to get the Tamashii. Yeah. Hand right now is Odawara, Tamashii. Oh, sorry, Odawara, Tamashii mystery card. Yeah, 2 looks from one from the draw step, 1 from the Tamashii trigger. Yeah, you want to sack the Bloom first, right? Probably depends a little bit on what Gab drew. Is there a command for this combo? The Tamashii combo is pretty convoluted. It just usually you're going to be returning a land to return Lotus Bloom, and I guess you wouldn't sack the Bloom for white actually. Basically 1 land is going to net you 2 mana for each land that you have, and the first land you return is going to draw you a card. The idea is that you're going to cast a Cultivator Colossus, and since you've picked up all your lands, you get to put those like back into play, and you get to draw a lot of cards off the Cultivator Colossus, and then because you're drawing a lot of cards and putting a lot of lands into play, you get to make more mana with Tamashii, and then you get to use that mana to cast Finale of Devastation to win the game. Yeah, wait, why wouldn't Gab want to use this for white mana? I'm kind of imagining it's a draw, right? Are you ready to say that Shredder in the title is clickbait? I mean, I guess it depends on what your definition of clickbait is, but this is a new brew with Ledger Shredder in the deck, so I don't really feel too bad about the title. There's no exclamation points or question marks or capital all caps words. So if this is clickbait, I'm guilty, I guess, but I don't really feel too bad about it. Okay, untapped Temple Guard I think means we're probably dead. Yeah. Yeah, if this is clickbait, then like we've totally lost the clickbait war. But I will say this, I do like it when people click on the stream. I think it's good when people click on the stream, so. Wait, Cultivator Colossus. Why am I always conceding to Gab when he's misclicking? Every time I play against Gab and he plays the Tamashii combo, he misclicks, so I'm just like, alright Gab, I love you. You're my hero. I'll concede. Every time. Oh man. And not that it feels like I'm under an obligation to. It's just, you know, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. But this is like, I think like the second or third time in a row. Okay. I think just kind of Voidwalker is generally a little bit of a better threat than Channeler. I'll play one Kaito too. How does Serra feel without Grave? Won us our last match. Yeah, I don't know. Cause I kind of feel like I naturally want like a 5th Reanimator spell in the Reanimation target in the main deck because I have so much looting, you know? So I was kind of thinking about maybe playing one in the main deck. And I decided to just keep the like Terastodon, Serra's Emissary, the sideboard for now. I'm not really sure though. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to build it. So good 17 months, appreciate you. I will say, like, we were not 100% dead there, but we were like less than 1% to win. We were like less than 1% to win, I think, so I'm okay just letting the play testing be the integrity of the play testing staying. Okay. I think this is a keepable hand. Kind of awkward to not have a second blue, but Moon Circuit Hacker should, give me some loots. Have a Thoughtseize on turn 1. Voidwalker is really good if you could just get this in play. It stops their combo. What's the Kaito in here for? So the idea is that this deck has like a creature beatdown game plan / Kaito beatdown game plan or Kaito card advantage engine that is going to be really hard for your opponent to interact with, like these creatures, and interact with your reanimation game plan. And so you kind of just get to attack with 2 angles, and Kaito is kind of the top of that difficult to interact with mana curve. Yeah, I did get a new desk. Okay, I guess I'll play the Voidwalker this turn. Next turn I can maybe Hacker Voidwalker again. 5th reanimation target could be Agent of Treachery. I feel like I would probably want it to be Titan of Industry. I was very close to playing a Titan of Industry over the Royal Scions. Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. You too. Ooh, another hacker. What's cool about having 2 hackers is that you can just like ninjutsu every turn and just draw a card every turn for 1 mana. Is Indulgence always a cantrip in the deck? You do have 5 different mana values, right? And with so much looting, I think you're actually going to draw 2 pretty often with it. Or it's somewhat often, right? Yeah, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. That's 5 different mana values. Should have taken a Wargate. Why? The hardest question to answer as a Twitch chatter. I may actually just let the hacker hit so I can try to dig deeper for Archon. Ooh. It fetches Lotus. I don't really care about Lotus because Voidwalker is turning off my opponent's ability to Tamashi combo. So I'm not sure why I care that much about Lotus here. And then, like, the Omnath is like a card that can just stabilize really hard, right? Yeah, I understand that that's the argument, but yeah, but the Voidwalker turn stops Tamashi from comboing, so I think I'd just rather take the Omnath. But I do understand that dynamic. I was just making sure there wasn't anything I was missing, you know? Oh yeah, pretty telegraphed. Oh, maybe I just misclicked, huh? Maybe I just misclicked. Why does Tamashi play Omnath? It's an Omnath tutor target, or so it's an Eldarmer's Call tutor target. So, yeah, they play like 4 Eldarmer's Call, so it's a pretty good situational card. Have I seen Doctor Strange? I haven't, dude. I love movies. I really wanted to see the Batman movie, then what's that other movie? Everything, Everywhere, All the Time. A lot of people that that, you know, like in respect said that that movie was great, and I also really wanted to see the new Doctor Strange. I haven't had time to see any of them, unfortunately. Hopefully soon. Things are starting to, you know, well, I don't know. We still have so much to do over here. I think on the draw, I'll play 2 Channelers over the Hackers, which are a little bit worse on the draw here. I could also maybe play Tourach. Nah, I think I just need to keep my curve low. Yeah, everybody's that people talk so highly about the Everything Everywhere All at Once. I really, really wanted to see it, but you know, responsibilities, huh? Do I make token decks? I just try to make competitive decks. I have made I played a deck all the last few days that required a that won by making infinite artifact tokens, but I never set out with the goal of like exploring lots of different archetypes explicitly. I mostly just try to find new competitive ideas. Sam with the 25 months, appreciate you. Ooh, only 1 land. Our draw is pretty good against Tamashii combo here with multiple Voidwalkers, Needle, and Thoughtseize. I may even be able to cast something nice off the Voidwalker, we'll see. So I think I'm going to play second Voidwalker before I Thoughtseize, just so in case Gab has a removal spell, I'm going to get to exile whatever they have with the Void counter. I also can maybe cast a Lotus Bloom off Voidwalker to hardcast Archon, which would be pretty cool. Don't Veil of Summer me. I'm gonna concede to Gab game 1, and he's gonna Veil of Summer me? Alright, what? The audacity to Veil of Summer me after I concede game 1. Truly no shame. We're still actually doing pretty well, I think. I'm just teasing. I really want to hardcast an Archon off of 2 Lotus Blooms. I feel like that's an unlocked achievement. You gave it a chance for his deck day after day. Yeah, but I mean, this is at the very least, I think. This is like the first time I'm excited to put Tainted Indulgence in a Reanimator deck, because I think it's necessary to like have a density of spells for Channeler, and in a lot of ways, like the reanimation plan here is like not your plan A. It's just something you can like pretty consistently loot into. Yeah. If you Pithing Needle Lotus Bloom, it doesn't work because it is a mana ability, and Needle doesn't stop mana abilities. Phyrexian Revoker would stop it though, or Stony Silence. Yeah, I also really want the Old Border Retro Baubles. I'm kind of hoping that they're in Double Masters. My wish list for Double Masters is every single card I like being printed in Retro Border. Every single card I like that isn't in Retro Border is my wish list. I feel like I watched a video of you ranting about being a good deck with instant overreach packages sometimes get there. What makes it work here? I guess I'm not entirely sure. I think that you're probably talking about like the mono black Reanimator deck. That one's like more. That one has like a more cohesive like general plan. I think I was probably ranting about that, right? But here, hold on, let me. Okay, let me play this. Cast the Indulgence. We had a pretty good draw here, huh? Don't Veil of Summer me. So yeah, the general idea here is it's less that the creature beatdown plan is like super duper powerful in this list, right? I'm not trying to assert that our like creature beatdown plan is unbeatable. Okay, they found Endurance off the Eldarmir's Call, unfortunately. It's gonna be fine, though. Hope so, at least. It's that the creature beatdown looting game plan gives you a lot of consistency, and it makes it really hard for your opponent to try to beat both your creatures and beat your Archon plan. Because if they're going to mulligan to Rest in Peace or mulligan to Graveyard Hate, they are going to die to the card advantage that you generate over time. Is the idea here? Okay, bounce the Voidwalker. Just gonna attack Gab so I can present lethal next turn. Yeah, this is maybe a Magic Online only promo. It is really nice. It's a Euroland. Yeah, the symbol here. I think it probably came to Magic Online as a promo only, and then in paper it's a Euroland. Voidwalker for Bloom, Voidwalker for Call, Call for Archon, cast Archon. Archon's 8 mana, that's only 7 mana. Wargate for 4. Has Gab played a land yet? No. Praying for a land, though. Easy. We're gonna get Veil Summered again. We're not gonna get Veil Summered again, are we? Surely not. Oh, we're gonna get Veil Summered again. And don't call me Shirley. So I could go Omnath land. I'm just gonna attack them. Tech for a Wilder. Give me a second on this. If I tried Master of Death with Shredder to Reanimator Shell. I haven't, no. Yeah, I feel Master of Death plus Shredder is kind of cool. I think it's like a bit lost to the sauce. But I'll tell you this. We're 2-0 on a Monday with a brand new list, baby. That is my favorite place to be. That is my favorite place to be. Ooh. Tough hand. I'm going to mulligan. Okay. Yeah, in my opinion, Bending is better than... or Unmarked Grave is better than Bending or Tainted Indulgence. In these like more spell-based versions. So like I think cutting those is incorrect. I also think it would be better than Consider. You could cut Consider for Unmarked Grave and then just play all of them. I'm not saying that that's definitely the direction to go here, but it is a direction that you could go. Come on, Archon. Hapatra, guys. Well, You have to take the Hapatra. So yeah, that's something you could do. I don't really like the Footsteps. You also need to play Unburial Rites if you're when you're playing the Unmarked Grave. But I think with all the looters, you might even want 2 Unburial Rites because it is pretty good to discard Unburial Rites to one of these looters. Having like another card that's good to discard is, I think, pretty important. I think I can't loot with the Neonate here, because then I lose my looter, so I have to wait. I don't like the Triome in these Esper decks either. I think that your mana is like pretty good in the Esper Reanimator decks, and you don't need the Triomes. Like I think the tap land hurts you more than the extra mana fixing. Sideboards in these decks are always pretty tricky. I don't know that I like playing Leyline of the Void in Reanimator sideboard, since like living it is kind of your best matchup. You know what I mean? Come on, Archon. Okay, Shredder blocks really well. Shredder blocks really well. Let me loot away my... Oh, sorry, I should... I meant to loot away this. Never mind. Never mind. Sideboard seems generally fine. I don't think I'd play the Teferi, the Leyline of the Voids. You could play Leyline of Sanctity in that spot for endurance / discard decks. Although you have Blossoming Calm, so maybe probably not. Maybe just like play third Blossoming Calm. Obviously, like a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of ins and outs to the Reanimator deck. Yeah, okay. Pretty toast to the Yawgmoth with Double and Dying creatures. Have to go to game 2, unfortunately. Kind of an awkward draw. I'm gonna bring in the Emissary, the Voidwalkers. They cut the Hackers. Feel like they're never getting through this matchup. Definitely feels like we haven't played many good matchups for Kaito, but we are 2 now. I probably want some Terminates to the full 3. I'm not sure. I think full 3. What do you think of the Vivian Accomplished Druid list that went 7-0 this weekend? I didn't see it. I didn't look at too many deck lists. I don't know what tournament it went 7-0 in. I didn't see the list. Why didn't we attack? I mean, they just easily double blocked the Neonate. It's not unblockable. Yeah, they had a wall of... They had 2 blockers, like, pretty easily for the Neonate, right? Yeah, I'm not playing the Triumph. I think that... I mean, I say this as I keep a hand without good mana, but I think the mana in this deck is generally pretty good, and I'm going to keep this on the Strength of Needle. I think the mana in this deck is generally pretty good, and... Okay, seeing Watery Grave on top, I'm gonna play Needle on turn 1. I wasn't sure if I was gonna need to try to like loot for a land off the Neonate blue land. Yeah, but the mana in this deck is really good, and our curve is super duper low, and so like you only need one mana of each color. And I'm honestly like kind of surprised that like we get these kind of questions this often. We do get these questions this often, but Voidwalker. Like, this is a lesson we've learned before these triumphs. Like, before, you know, we've already learned this lesson that if your mana is... Okay, my opponent has endurance here. If your mana is, like, really consistent and you have a really low curve, you don't want to play a triumph. And if your mana curve is higher and your mana curve is less consistent, then you will consider playing a triumph. But in a deck like this, you'll, like, basically never really seriously consider it, I think. We've seen a few decks like this pop up. I think that these decks have potential. I'm personally like kind of unsure how much I like or dislike Karn in these decks, but I think that they're interesting. All right. I can't handle getting Veil Summoned again. Okay, Chord for 1 is fine. There's not much I'd want to cast off the Voidwalker. Oh boy. Okay, so I think I'm going to block with Neonate and Sack here, attack with the Voidwalker. Where are the old borders Baubles from? They, I think, are in, like, just treasure chests on Magic Online. I could be misremembering. But yeah, they put a lot of, like, new promos on Magic Online recently. Come on, dude. Alright. Flooding out pretty bad. Sad. Probably should play my land, but I think we're dead. Have you found a good home for Aven Heartstabber? I haven't, no. I haven't. This was a deck I kind of considered it for. Feels like one of those cards that, obviously Shores at the top, feels like one of those cards that is like interesting and powerful and does not have a clear home. I also think that what do you think of the 10 months? I think that I kind of underestimated how tricky it is to get to 5 different mana values in the yard, especially early, so it's definitely an issue that card like is very rarely a 3/3 death touch before like turn like 5. Okay, I really dislike the Indulgence in this hand, but this hand is turn 1 to get Archon in the graveyard and have like 5 looks at Black Source Persist. I think I'm probably supposed to keep. Hey Jim. Easy keep actually. Look, I didn't buy the old border baubles this morning to mulligan a hand that had 3 of them. I'm begging you to daily beg to play Mono Blue. I actually Mono Blue is my favorite deck in Pioneer. I am trying to work on it. It's on my work list currently. Storm count 4. Yeah, Mono Blue Devotion. Mono Blue Devotion, my favorite deck in Pioneer. This is where I was at. I 4-1'd my only league with this deck after kind of staying away from it for a while, playing Modern instead for years. But this is where I was at the last time I played it. 4-1'd recently. I really like Glasspool Mimic a lot. I'm kind of interested in like 4th Glasspool Mimic, but I'm not sure yet. There's like a lot of ways to build it too that you can get like weirder with, and you can play like Moonsnare Prototype is like one that I really want to try to figure out. Moonsnare Prototype, potentially like Witching Well plus Moonsnare Prototype. All right. This opponent is oh, I think they're playing the blue-black Shadow list I was playing. That's what it looks like. Brent to the 10 months, expansion exposure to 3, and Chant with the 12. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so I'm going to attack for 1, and then I am going to loot the Archon of the Yard, just try to get lucky and rip Persist. It's okay that we missed. Do need to draw land pretty bad. And so does my opponent. But we know they're drawing the island. So they get to take the Indulgence, just try to slow them down a little bit, keep them stumbling. Cast my spell. What's the game playing against Bloodmoon Dimmer Shadow? You counter it or discard it or you lose to it. I think it is like this is we get these kind of questions all the time. Spike, how do you beat this card that's like really hard for this archetype to beat? I just feel like players need to generally be more comfortable losing to losing to cards that their archetype is bad against. And you also have like plenty of answers to it. But you're a blue-black deck with like, you know, ambitious mana. You're gonna have a hard time removing a Blood Moon from play. That's just the color pie, baby. Oh, whoops. So Thoughtseize, Archmage's Charm, Dress Down. Really would like to draw a land or Persist, and Persist is on my list. Keep that. Tainted Indulgence is also a draw 2, right? Oh, I guess it's not a draw 2 anymore because the Archon is in play. Non-bow. You can actually go back into the yard. Almost forgot to play my land. Four was Snare, well, Devotionless. Oh, yeah, another card I actually want to try is Seagate Restoration. Where Seagate Restoration is actually pretty hard castable in the Mono Blue Devotion deck. And you know, it doesn't have that much downside. I don't know how many copies I want to play though. So playing against the blue-black Shadow deck, I think I really want these Spell Pierces and the Terminates. Oh, my opponent's going to bring in Voidwalker if they're on my list, so we have the Terminates for those. I'm gonna cut the hackers and the Thoughtseizes. 5-pack for Expansion Explosion. Hey Shane, how's it going? Welcome back. Appreciate you. I think Nykthos is a safe purchase for Pioneer. I think it's inevitably going to get banned. I think right now it seems like I think it would be pretty silly if they ban Nykthos. Right now, there's a couple of cards that I think I would like to see go before Nykthos. Especially when like I've been playing a lot of blue-red decks lately. The blue-red decks I think are really good against the mono-green deck, but yeah, at least the first copy of Restoration. Just not sure like. Yeah, beyond like at least the first copy. I don't know if you want to play 2, 3, or 4. Probably not 4. Probably 2 or 3. Thoughts on how good Blood Moon would be in Pioneer? I don't have. Thankfully, that's not something I have to like actually put any of my limited brain power into thinking. It would be good, but it's not ever going to be in Pioneer, so no need to worry about that. No, Frostborn Weird is way too low power level. Yeah, that's fine. Expansion Explosion. Appreciate the tip. Is this another Jund Creativity deck? Oh, it's Pioneer Creativity. I feel like I would probably just play 2 Den of the Bugbear to try to maximize this deck's mountain requirement for Dwarven Mine. So I think -2 Den plus 2 mountain seems like a pretty good early swap here. And then I don't know that I really like the idea of playing a lot of these tokens, right? These like Dragon Fodder, Hoarding Outbursts. Like a big idea behind creativity is like you get to have your card quality be a bit higher than like traditional polymorph decks. And use enablers like Dwarven Mine and like, well, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is a bit better, but, I would honestly, like, is there any good way to make treasures? Are there any good, like, treasure cards you could play in this, this shell? That's obviously, like, not tied to a creature. But I'd be more interested in those than, like, these cards. None are, to be honest, like none are immediately coming to mind. Maybe someone else can help out. Windfall. This is a Pioneer deck. Spell Pierce the Channeler. Let's Tainted Indulgence in response and see if we want to Spell Pierce this or not. Prismark Man. This is a mono red deck. Big Score. Yeah, Big Score actually seems pretty good. I like the idea of Big Score. Kaito seems like a decent card to keep on top, although I really do expect my opponent has more counter magic. They've been missing their lands, and then I kind of lose the value on the Surveil, and I am pretty interested in just trying to find an Archon. So, although now that I am not missing out the value from the Surveil, I'll keep the second Kaito. Deadly Dispute. Oh, you could play, oh, there's Magma Opus. I missed that you have Magma Opus. But you could play the 3-mana Chandra that either flashes back spells with mana value 3 or less, so it can flash back your creativity, and that card makes tokens too. I feel like I'd like to see that card over Hoarding Outburst, no Dragon Fodder. I'd also like to see, I think, probably just like 4 Terror of the Peaks as your hits, because like that's typically what these decks play, and I think that plan is also pretty good. Okay, I think I'm safe to attack, play Kaito, play Neonate. Yeah, I like the Baby Chandra too. Chandra can flashback creativity 0. Oh yeah, you're right. It does work. It doesn't work. It's like the Lurist rule. You can't spend any mana on X. Okay, never mind on that then. You might still play it. Ooh, I turned on the Ferocious. Well, good beats. Yeah, so I guess I was supposed to cast this, then attack. Okay, I'm going to, I think, just take this hit. definitely kind of a lot of loose thoughts. I think that there is maybe something here. I wish you luck on your quest to figure it out. I think there's a good chance my opponent's going to Archmage's Charm into turn, which will set me up for a good window to terminate the shadow. But just in case they don't, I'm going to leave back a Neonate to block and sack. I know this doesn't play around Archmage's Charm very well, but I'm going to wait to terminate till their upkeep. And then we're dead to... They've been missing land drops, so while we are dead to another land, they're not necessarily going to have it. If they counter this in response, I should probably loot away the Delta, looking for Spell Pierce. Are there any other decks of Modern you think Royal Scions fits into? Oh, yeah, we didn't play around the Charm very well. I haven't played with Royal Scions in a while. This is like the first time I think I've found like an okay home for it. Okay, game 3. I've played it in the past. Like I have felt like it's like very much fringe playable, and these are the fringes. These are the fringes. What do you think? Lotus Field isn't played as much these days. Are you talking about Lotus Field Control in Modern? Because a few other players have picked up the deck after I've played it. I like, you know, a lot of my brews are like, they're both like, I think competitive if you'd spend the time to master them, but really, really difficult to play, and also like not necessarily the best choice. And like that combination of 3 things makes it like the barrier to entry for a deck like Lotus Field really hard, where it is like Lotus Field Control in Modern is like one of the hardest control decks I've ever played. Another triple Bauble hand. I guess I'll keep. You don't want to mulligan too aggressively in this matchup. But that deck is like one of the hardest, if not the hardest, control deck I've ever played, and I do think a lot of players don't jive with it, you know? Alright, I think I'll just keep the Shredder on top and pass here. Could maybe, no, I wanted to Bauble first, because if I light the card on top, then... I guess I could have... Yeah, no, I should have played my fetch land in the second Bauble, so I get the second Surveil. Especially now that I'm losing my Shredder. But maybe I'll get Thoughtseize bugged, huh? I'm not losing the Shredder. Well... So that must mean they have a Fatal Push, but I think that's okay. Yeah, just discard one of these. Horse Father with the 12 months, thank you so much. Voidwalker on top. We have a Terminate though. Okay. Because I should have not. I guess we don't need the third Bauble in the yard. So they didn't kill my Shredder. Don't they know? They know about this Terminate too, right? Or is this the new card? Could be the new card. Don't have double red to connive, unfortunately. Hopefully that's okay. I wonder if we could go down to 20 lands. That was something I was kind of considering. With the addition of 4 Baubles. I was down from 22, which I was playing in the older version. King Jester with the 8 months, thank you. Hopefully my opponent draws a lot of discard spells. If you want to go to 20, you probably want to cut the extra 3-mana walker. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Then that gives us 2 open slots. I kind of wanted to try out like a Titan of Industry. Yeah, I do have plans to put the conspiracy board in the background. I wanted to do it this weekend, but I ended up mostly just hanging out with Esther. Esther graduated with her master's degree this weekend, so did a lot of celebrating. Yeah, I could maybe play Iteration. I was thinking about playing Iteration like somewhere in the shell. Like I was kind of thinking that, oh, this resolved. It's great news. It's kind of close. I think I'm just gonna hold both these to loot away. You definitely need Kroxa in the deck. I feel like Kroxa, I don't like how it doesn't like put early pressure on the opponent, which is kind of like the whole idea of the beatdown plan. Think Season Pyro will be bad in the deck. Double red is kind of awkward. Although not the end of the world. And I think that the 3-mana Planeswalkers are a bit better. Not sure. We'll take a closer look at it. Definitely feeling a lot better now that the Scion's resolved. Although a little bit worse now that my opponent has found a Murktide. I was thinking at least one escape card definitely seems good. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't hate the idea. I don't hate the idea, but it's also like really easy to be like this is also like the matchup where escape cards really shine, like against Grixis decks exactly. I'm not sure that like it necessarily helps your overall, you know, matchup win percentage. It might. It might. Yeah, too bad Scion decides to one hit. Yeah, I know you can play Cling to Dust. Cling to Dust is also like, I don't know. I'm not that excited about it in this deck. How about Bomat Courier? Bomat's like worse than a few other cards you could be playing, I think. I think it's worse than Neonate. Not Neonate. We already played Neonate, obviously. The 1 mana into the battlefield, ping your opponent, and make a blood token. I don't know. It's also like, I don't know. I know we've got some flex spots. I feel like I'm not that excited by Crocus Over Cling here. I'm honestly like more interested in trying to play Titan of Industry, or like just like another like reanimation target in the main deck. Okay, we are we need to, you know, draw like Archon into Persist or something. What's your rationale at the moment for Kaito versus Science versus Liliantham being a 3 and doing different things? Well, in this deck you need the card selection more than anything else. So Liliana is not much of a consideration. Kaito is more powerful than your Royal Scions. It's not really all that complicated, I guess. Okay, Tainted Indulgence is kind of like the only card that does anything, so... Okay. I guess I'm discarding Kaito. Definitely terminating now, so if they have a 2-mana counter, I can Spell Pierce. They don't, though. For Grixis Shadow, we could Lantern or Hearse in the sideboard. Kind of depends on what you feel like your overall matchup spread is like and what you need the hate for. Because if you need the Hearse for a living end, then I think you just want Lantern, and that is kind of like the main matchup you want it for. So I think it's still the Hearse. It's just still the Lantern. Sorry. I think I'm waiting. If I want to get back the Shredder, it's kind of better to try to get it back next turn, anyways, when I could potentially trigger Connive. Max punished. Alright, so another Terminate, I guess, is our hope. Alright. Dead. Oh, sorry, I guess we had one more draw step. Let's see. For a reason, I thought we were dead in 2 swings. Okay, it wouldn't have mattered. Alright, so our glorious 2-0. My favorite place to be, 2-0 on a Monday. Falling to 2-2. Anger is not a modern legal card, Professor Chaos. Very red hand with mulligan. I guess I'm gonna go for the turn 2 Reanimated Archon, unless I see something that makes me really think I shouldn't be doing that. I guess this is something that makes me think I shouldn't be doing that, because now I can just go Thoughtseize, Shredder, Bauble, loot away the Archon. Okay, we're currently 1-0 against Shredder Reanimator today. I think I have to take the Teferi because it's the answer to my Archon. I really just like the Body Double Reanimator deck. I really just like it. It's just like, I hate like needing an extra card to be in the graveyard for the... and, like, it's just like, I think really unnecessary to need like to combo with Body Double when Archon of Cruelty is really good at just winning you the game. I think I could save the Bauble to trigger Shredder. But Wafo's Reanimator, I mean, I think it's a fine way to build a deck, just more controlling with Reanimator Plan B. It's kind of like this deck, where this deck is like creature beat down with Reanimator Plan, right? Two sides of the same coin. They get their Tamashii. And they're going to engineer this turn, play Katria Triome. They're just ending Tamashii Wargate. Oh, they ending the Shredder. Awesome. That's really good for me. Alright. I think we just Bauble now, despite... I think we're okay not triggering the Shredder. Yeah, them taking a turn off is great. And they discarded the Engineer. I'm kind of surprised they discard Engineer. Maybe they want to Wargate for Lotus Bloom. And then cast Tamashii off of it. Yeah, I guess that's better. If not Archon, which is not legendary. Oh, yeah, I wanted to... Oh, dude, no. Fuck. I wanted to try a Titan of Industry as another Reanimator target. So we may run it back with Titan. Definitely need a Thoughtseize here. Thoughtseize is a great draw. So it's kind of close between Wargate Tamashii. I don't think I'm supposed to take the Teferi. I think I'll take the Wargate, since if they do Tamashii, I can try to reanimate Archon and kill it. Where like them getting the Lotus Bloom in play just does kind of set them up for a better turn. Okay, I'll try to attack the Teferi. Kind of surprised they chose to do nothing. Must have drawn Eldamir's Call. Oh, main deck Endurance. Okay, these just bounce off each other, thankfully. Oh, right, Gab was main decking Endurance too, I forgot. Kind of fine that it worked out this way, not like in response to Persist. We'll go Kaito, draw a card. Neonate, loot Archon into the yard. Retro out the 5 months, Infern Dog with the 17. Thank you guys. How many hardcast Archons have happened so far? In like the previous iteration of this deck, a few times. But it was like mostly like against Rest in Peace, but you're just drawing like a lot of cards. Fun with 8 months, appreciate you. Alright, so what I'm saying is Tamashii, Teferi, mystery card. How's the new house? It's still got its structural integrity for now. We didn't get as much done this weekend as we would have liked, but it's all coming together. It's all coming together. Yeah, I saw the bait funder. Decided not to take it. Not today. Not choosing violence today. How the corral doors. The other one is, one of the doors is still up. The other one is destroyed. Oh, they can also bauble here. That doesn't even trigger my connive. Alright, Bauble confirmed good. We were not sure earlier. Seems pretty good. Let's get one of those tiny chebbles, go to the standing desk. The noise would be way too loud for the stream. So I think I want to shuffle that Persist back into my deck. And I think I'm just pressing Kaito first. Thoughtseize my opponent. Their Goblin Engineer is already gone. They usually only play one copy. I think I'll take their second Teferi. I think I discard this so I can guarantee a profitable attack. Fuck. I think I have to loot. I'm gonna loot away the, I guess the Bloodstained Mire post-combat because the mountain's gone, and then I'll try to draw Persist. So much flood today. Come on, dude! Ugh. Kaito dies. His hand is Eldarmy's Call, Eldarmy's Call, Tamashii mystery card. But they also, you know, they're drawing 2 cards a turn with their Tamashii. We need to find another Persist. I mean, they also top decked their Teferi to bounce my Archon, which was like just so devastating this game. Scions could have also plus on Shredder. Yeah, but then like I had like 3 extra looks at a Persist if I casted the Tainted Remedy. So I felt pretty good about casting the Tainted Remedy with that many looks. Looks for 1. Gonna attack. It's like, I don't know, it's just like so easy to be like, to draw 3 lands in a row, like, oh, we should have kept the Scions, played the Scions. I played Food like all day Thursday, all day Friday. They got a Ledger Shredder, or sorry, a Grazer. I thought I shuffled the Channeler away too. Well, I would love if they triggered Connive for me. Although if they do, we're probably dying. Yeah, so I keep calling Tainted Indulgence Tainted Remedy. Oh, my opponent mistapped, right? Oh, they have white mana. Make sure they have an untapped white source. They don't! Oh, but they just have the Lotus Bloom. Duh, sorry. They just have the Lotus Bloom. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking that they were out of white mana. Well, kind of a sad game. Top deck Teferi and mana flood feel pretty bad. We did win this matchup earlier after losing game 1. I'm trying to remember exactly how I sideboard. I think it was like this. I don't know why we plus Kaito before attacking. If we draw Persist, then our attacks are way better if we can draw Persist off the Kaito. And we had plenty of good cards to loot away. So I believe we looted away a land with the Kaito. But if we draw Persist off Kaito, then it's just like the upside is high enough to do it pre-combat. But I also don't feel like it was really relevant. Terastodon's on the sideboard for big mana matchups. I'm not sure if we want to be playing like it necessarily. You got 1 Kaito over the 4th channel. Oh, that's right. I think I like that plan too. Alright, pretty forced to take the Veil of Summer, I guess. Our hand's pretty good though. I'm feeling fine. Hopefully you don't get Veil of Summer Thoughtseize bugged. Alright, Voidwalker, really good draw. Ooh. Matthew, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate ya. I feel like I'm actually discarding the Shredder despite thinking Shredder Thoughtseize is a pretty good turn. I think Voidwalker Thoughtseize is a bit better. I think with the Eluder, I need to keep the Persist, need to keep the Terminate as well. Take the Teferi. Thank you again for the 5 months, Matt. So this is the unknown cards. The hand is Omnath. Omnath, Wargate, Windswept Heath. I think I'm terminating the Tamashii. I can Teferi bounce the... Maybe I should have Teferi'd the Tamashii. But I kind of like just getting in here, hopefully getting to play a second Voidwalker. bouncing this is maybe not all that. Okay, I think I'm... Oh, no. So, yeah, so I'm gonna choose the Teferi, cast the Shredder, then cast the Teferi to connive. And then I guess I'm discarding the Voidwalker, bouncing the Omnath, and probably Thoughtseizing the Omnath. As the guy who sends those attempts down, how long it takes me just a standing desk. I feel like I haven't had much trouble adjusting. Just like I feel great. I haven't had any like. I don't feel tired or sore. I feel more energetic. I've been standing for like the first like 2 or 3 hours and sitting for like the next 2 or 3 hours, which I think has been pretty good. Maybe end up standing for longer as we keep going. Opponent deep in the tank. Deep in the tank. Kind of hoping I can untap with the ability to instant speed Persist a Voidwalker in response to them trying to combo off. I think my opponent has drawn Tamashii and that they are thinking about going Wargate for 0, activate Tamashii, and then hope to top deck a Colossus for the win. I'm wrong. They just have Birds of Paradise. Oh. Okay. A little bit of a bug there, I think. Putting me immediately in my combat step. I guess we're here now. I don't think it really changes that much, but tad frustrating. Okay, so let me go Bauble myself. If I see an untapped land, I'll Tainted Remedy. Otherwise, I'm just going to hold up the Persist. There's an untapped land, so I will Tainted Remedy. Oh, no. Sorry. Tainted Indulgence, whatever. I'm over it. If I cast this, I have to dilute away my Persist. So I don't want to do that. Tainted Indulgence, Tainted Indulgence. 6 mana. Theoretically, this is a Wargate for 3. So probably just putting Teferi into play, so I need to respond with the Persist. Yeah, I can't keep both the land and the Persist, so I think I just have to wait. Bounces the Shredder, but they are dead on board. Alright. One game two. I think we're just running it back. Wouldn't Ragavan just be better? I don't think Ragavan is just better. Channeler plays better with Moon Circuit Hacker, and then Ragavan is worse in a deck with no main deck removal compared to cards like Channeler and Neonate that have evasion. And in addition to like the synergy that Channeler has in the deck being card selection. Reaper, 23 months. Soon my sub will be older than Spike is. Impossible to be older than I am. Could maybe be better to play Channeler on turn 1. They don't currently have any blue mana. This is such a weird hand to Thoughtseize. Now I just really wish I had taken or cast the Channeler instead. Although I guess it would have gotten pinged by the Ren. It is just like an absolute nightmare here if my opponent draws a fetch land and I don't take the Ren, and they are not really doing anything else next turn anyways, so I think it's fine to take the Ren here. I'm not 100% sure though. See if they drew a blue source for Teferi. Their deck has a lot of lands, so they're kind of likely to have. They didn't though. So maybe Thoughtseize them. I might cast Omnath here. It's kind of awkward that they can bounce it back with their Teferi, I guess. But I get so much mana. Get so much mana. I can cast all the little creatures in my hand. So I've already cast 2 spells. Channeler. I guess I'll Shredder and I can just Moon Circuit Hacker next turn. Pretty good turn. Storm count 5. This Omnath card's pretty good. Ninjutsu Omnath. It's funny. I might hardcast the Archon. Yeah, if I draw a fetch land, I can hardcast the Archon. Yeah, I guess we need to play Omnath Reanimator, huh? Going against Sakura Tribe Elder. DG Gigante, I think with 10 months. Oh, crack the fetch, crack the fetch. If they had cracked it, if they had cracked it already, then I would be able to Voidwalker the fetch land. Which doesn't, you know, feel like necessary to win the game or anything, but it does seem necessary to have a cool turn. So Ninjutsu doesn't count as casting a spell, right, actually. Just put it into play. So we're going to go Channeler, Thoughtseize, probably taking the Teferi. Usually Surveil before Connive. Okay, pass back. Yeah, it feels like a concession. Oh, sorry, they did it for the Voidwalker. Was I supposed to go Shredder Neonate? I don't think so. Okay. Wait, why would they crack the crypts if they were going to plan on endurancing? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, 3 into the first league here. I think I am interested in cutting a land. I was kind of waffling on the numbers this morning after playtesting some. 3-2 for